What's up, guys? I'm sorry we have not been posting. I'm slacking, but we're gonna lock in. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the full quantum guide. Now, I'm not gonna be able to show you guys live gameplay because I did swap over to gadgets, so expect that gadgets guide soon. But let's do the quantum. I do want to say quantum is by far the best troll power at the moment. It's just not even close. There's so many reasons why. It has a better hard stun. It's easier for pickups. As you guys can see, you can just see I warp in, get the pickup instantly. The guy's back up. He's doing damage. You know, and one thing I like to do when I pick somebody up, I do like to, if I can, give that troll shield as soon as they get up. Just in case the healer's a little slow, they get the heals to help them. But I will say, you guys are probably wondering, what artifacts am I using? I am using Claw, Tetra, Raw, which is the debuff. That's the thing that's going to give you the 7 debuffs. And then I'm using Bop, and then I'm using Sinestro's Ring. Now, with that being said, I am not using Hecate. I know a lot of trolls run Hecate, but what I came to realize about Hecate, and a lot of people don't know this, so I want to make this clear, so listen up. Hecate gives more might. It gives might stacks. So every time you use it, you get more might, and then it also gives power out. But it does it depending on how many debuffs that the target has. So if the target doesn't have that many debuffs on them, then it's not going to have such an effect. So the only way Hecate really works is if you're running 3 debuffs on your loadout, or if you're running Bop. So you have to run Bop and Hecate. But then at that point, you would have to sacrifice your buffs or your Sinestro Ring. So I came to the conclusion that it's just better for you to just run Bop and just not use Hecate. I actually ate my Hecate because I don't see the purpose of using it, especially when you're in these top tier groups. The burn is pretty fast, so I just don't see the point. So yeah, first boss, to break it down, and I didn't show the first hallways, but the first hallways is very important as a troll. You get the console quick. At the first boss, you got to make sure you do all the mist containers, do pickups. Second boss, make sure you close the portals, obviously debuff everything, pickups, and then last boss, you want to make sure you do the mist containers. Pretty much sums it up. Regards to allies, you're going to want to use Nubia and General Zod on the hallways. And then on the boss fights, I like to use General Zod and John Stewart. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. But without further ado, let's hop on the DPS side. Now, I'm going to do a commentary over my gameplay, kind of explaining what I'm doing. Let me know if you guys like that type of style or what you guys would like to prefer. So what I like to do when I go into the raid, I like to stack up my Omega, get my booze up, and then I'm going to run in. I'm going to get my EOG proc. I'm going to use Lasso right away because I know the burn's going to be fast. It actually wasn't as fast as I expected because of the grouping of the tank. I think the tank tried to go for the second set. So then some people went first, some people went second. But usually if everybody focuses on the same set and you get that Lasso right away, since people have their charged Omega, you do hella damage. Then I'm going to get my next proc. I'm going to hit my Oblivion right away. I'm going to look to stack my Omega, hit it on that set. The only bad thing about Quantum, I will say, in regards to, like, its real downside is the fact that you build your Omega semi-slow. So you have to be very quick with building it because obviously you want to have your Omega up as much as possible. As you guys can see, like, you're seeing me pop my Omegas, and a lot of the times there's only 1 or 2 ads left. So that's the one bad part about it that you got to be very aware of. Sometimes you want to just hold it and just wait for the next set because it's not even worth really popping if there's only 1 or 2 sets. 1 or 2 ads. But pretty straightforward. I do want to remind you guys can animation cancel the lasso. I'm probably going to make a video fully describing that. But you can animation cancel it. So if you guys are still animating it, then you're doing something wrong. As you guys can see, you're not seeing me do any animation with it, and I'm still triggering it. But pretty straightforward. I like to start off with a Neo on the first set, Oblivion on the next set, and then another Neo if I have time, and then another Oblivion. So that's pretty much just back and forth, pretty straightforward. Allies, I'm using Flash and Static for passive, and for combat, I'm using Superboy. And I use the Breakout Trinket in my Utility Belt. That's going to allow me to get a free clip. I can clip my allies, I can clip my pet, I can clip my supercharges. A lot of people, for some reason, still aren't using breakouts. As you guys can see, we're top. The person who is in second is Electric DPS. But let's get into the boss fight. Alrighty, so now in the boss fight, what I like to do is I like to call my booze. I'm usually in my Boo Armory. I'll call in my Boos, and then I'll swap. I'll stack my Omega quick, then I'll hit my Neo. So usually you want to stack your Omega, then hit your Supercharge. A lot of people like to get that first proc, let somebody else have it if they want. Then I get my second proc with the Oblivion. So now I got my Neo proc, my Oblivion proc, and that's already a 55 mil parse right there. And then just rinse and repeat. Now we're going to hit our Omega. We're going to hit our Orb. And primarily to stack your Omega, I just spam Starbolt. As you guys can see, you have that second ability in my loadout, but I hardly use it. The main thing you should be using is Starbolt. That's just like a replacer. As you can see, I'm popping it right now because my Starbolt was on cooldown. But realistically, you're spamming Starbolt because Starbolt is going to help you regain your Supercharge, which is ultimately what you want. So I saw someone that had the EOG on the ground, so I decided to hold my EOG. And this time around, I'm going to just go straight into the Oblivion. Since I see that the group is stacked up on me, I pop an Oblivion, and that's going to help me do extreme damage. That's going to just hit a crazy parse. Now, let's move over to the parking lot. While we go into this, you guys are going to see I'm going to engage with full Omega. I'm going to go Neo Venom, Lasso, Clip, and I'm going to go straight into building my Omega back up. Lasso, animation, cancel, and then just rinse and repeat. I do want to make something clear, though. Quantum is not the best DPS power. It's not even top 3. Right now, arguably the top 3, and it's been there like that for a while. It is Electric, Gadgets, and Rage. But I will say Quantum can hit if you know what you're doing, but it's not a top 3 power. It is, in my opinion, the best troll power. I just think its kit is very good. I actually found out that because of the back mod, the back ultimate mod, you can actually reset the shield supercharge. It gives power. You could actually reset that and spam it over and over again. That's something I forgot to say over in that troll side part. But this is the part right here. Pay attention to this part. I'll pop EOG alone. Pay attention. I'll pop EOG alone, Oblivion. And I think I'm going to hit damn near 100 mil damage right here. And 98.3 million damage right there. And mind you, that was no orbital. That was no orbital used. That was nobody standing in my EOG. That was just straight quantum damage. So that tells you it can hit, but you really need to have like a good Oblivion on a big set of ads. And Oblivion hits harder when there's multiple targets, to be honest. If there's only one target, it'll still hit, but it won't hit as hard. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Obviously, you swap the boss armory. I like to run 3 supercharges in my boss armory just because I'm primarily spamming Starbolt, so I don't really need any. I don't have any reason to run anything else. You know, if you're somebody who you could technically run Spore Pod instead of the first power if you wanted to, but I just feel like it's not even really worth it. So I just run this loadout, especially for last boss, since you have so much supercharge engaging into the last boss. I usually pop all 3 of those supers and I spam them 1 repeat. But that's basically essentially what it is. As you can see here, this guy gets the proc on me, so I'm going to wait it out. Then I'm going to go close to him. He gets the proc again. So then let's see what I do. I'm going to keep stalling. So then I decide, let me just go into the Oblivion. And sometimes that's going to be the case. Sometimes if somebody's beating you with the procs, sometimes you got to give it to them. Some other times you can run over to the side and pop your EOG, or some other times you have to just pop it. But what I realize is this: if someone gets an EOG proc over you and then you pop, let's say, a 10k, especially with a quantum, like you see how he's popping his circuit breakers on me. If he pops his circuit breaker and then I pop my Oblivion on his EOG, I'm going to feed him so much damage and I'm going to get no damage in return. So sometimes it's better to just wait it out. And as you guys can see, that's what I did, and that's why I'm cooking in boss damage and in overall. But that's pretty much it. I'm not even going to show the last boss. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think. Alright, so I'm going to show the last part because I did forget to tell you guys the artifacts. So as you guys can see, I engage here. I get the Neo Venom proc. I'm going to then get the Oblivion proc, and then I'm going to get the other proc. So very crucial, you got to get those EOG procs. But talking about EOG, let's talk about the artifacts. So with artifacts, you're going to want to use EOG, Transformation, Soul Cloak, the new book artifact, and then Omega. As you guys can see, I just hit a 96 mil. I think a 96, was that a 96 mil parse on single target? So that just tells you how much you can hit. 411 mil boss damage, 1 billion overall. I mean, the numbers are there for yourself. You guys can see I kind of broke it down a little bit. I could go into further detail, but I hope you guys got the gist. If you guys have any questions, go down in the comment section. If you guys want to have, want more quick answers, join my Discord. It'll be in the description, and just DM me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.